Welcome to 100 Yards Football. Today is our college football team preview. Today, we preview Penn State University. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and joining me today is a very talented young man out of Florida State University by way of Delray Beach, Florida, that played 12 years in the National Football League at our highest level, my man, Mr. Bobby Butler. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it as Mr. Butler is going to break down the University of Penn State out of the Big Ten. Brother Butler, what do you like about Penn State?
The first thing I like about Penn State is head coach James Franklin.
Yes, sir. I like Mr. Franklin. Yes, sir.
Vincent, he's absolutely getting it done. And sometimes you never know how he's getting it done. But one thing I can say about him, he's a highly intelligent football coach. He's highly intelligent. That man has won 42 games and lost only 11 games over the past 4 years. 42 and 11. He's won a lot of football games, right? But here's a little shakeup this year, Vincent. I'm like, did he do that? He got 4 new position coaches. He's got a new offensive coordinator. He's got a new offensive line coach, a new wide receiver coach, and a new defensive line coach. So he's shaking it up a little bit, But here's all the good news. He's smart. He's intelligent. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He knows exactly what he's doing, right? He's got 8 starters returning on offense. Number 1 being his dual threat quarterback, Mr. Sean Clifford. He averaged 254.7 yards of total offense in the Big Ten last year. That put him 4th in the Big Ten, right? So he's got his play caller back. They're not going to miss a beat. They're not going to change. From what I read, they're not going to change a whole lot in their offense. They're just going to add a little bit of flavor to it, right? Here and there. And that's what you have to do when you have a dual threat quarterback. That's what they did with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, right? That's what they do with Patrick Mahomes. When you got a special kind of guy, you got to add a little flavor to it, just a little coloring, to his play, and let him be himself and let him play, right? So look for their offense to be even further enhanced this year under Sean Clifford's leadership at quarterback. Running back, Journey Brown. He rushed for over 100 yards in 4 of the last 5 games in 2019, including a 203-yard performance in the Cotton Bowl, right? He tore it up in the Cotton Bowl, right? So here's the thing.
Here you go, Brother Butler. You know where you want to go. You're being a little, you getting out of line. You want to punch me. A lot of people don't know I'm from the 901. I love my town, Memphis, Tennessee. How you doing, Mom and Pop? He put up 202 against the University of Memphis in the Cotton Bowl.
Now, I want the 901 to realize right here that I didn't say that. I just said the man had 200 yards in the Cotton Bowl. All right, that's all I said. Right?
Yes, sir.
So let's think, Vincent. Let's think about this though. All right, this guy, he played a lot last year. I mean, he didn't tear it up, but he started late. He started gelling. But with the offensive line that they got coming back, here we go again. They have starters experience, right? 5 players with starters experience on the O-line. Will Fries, Rasheal Walker tackles. They're back with experience. You got the center, Michael Minette. He's back with experience. You got guards CJ Thorpe, Michael Miranda. They're back. They shared duties last year. And so they're going to be fine on the offensive line. So with that offensive line play, and then you got a running back who's, developing, they're going to be fine, right? The big concern they have is playmaking ability at their wide receiver group, right? They got aside from the returning starter, Johan Dotson, who caught 40 passes for 691 yards in his first 2 seasons. They don't have anyone else with experience. Now, this is Penn State. Just like we talk about other schools, big schools, they got players there. And I always believe, y'all hear me say this every time I do a video, that wide receivers and running backs are a dime a dozen. If you have a quarterback and you got an offensive line, you'll find running backs and receivers who can get the job done. So I believe they'll get the job done there. But here's the good news. Their tight end is back. He's a monster. Pat Freiermuth is back. 15 TDs in his first 2 seasons. So you can count on him, making some plays. See, I like having a great tight end like that, especially with a mobile quarterback, Vincent, because now when he's on the run, there's somebody he can dump the ball to, right? And then you can have your playmakers just turn up field. And, he might be able to hit some home run shots down the field because you got that tight end sitting around there just moving in and out, putting his body in position to make catches while he's on the run. I think they're going to be fine offensively. It is Penn State. They play physical football up there, especially when it gets cold, Vincent. Now, on defense, they got 5 starters returning, right? Defensive end, Shaka Tony, he's returning on the weak side of the defense. Jason Away and Adisa Isaac, strong side defensive ends. 2 solid guys. They played well last year. So they're not going to miss a beat with those guys. Their D tackles, I love these guys. Antonio Shelton and PJ Mustafa. Hey, listen, they are good, strong 2 techniques. And I'm telling you right now, when I see defensive tackles, I'm looking for guys who can play 2 technique. That means we can handle any offensive lineman and push them right back into the quarterback's lap. That means they're strong and they sturdy. So they got that. At the linebacker position, their weak linebacker, Michael Parsons, he led them in tackles last year, and he's an All-American. I had All-American honors last year. He's a beast. You got to deal with him. He's gonna wreak havoc wherever he goes. He's gonna blow it up. So you got a big-time linebacker. And remember, Vincent, what is Penn State known for? Now we talk about linebacker you, right? And so Mr. Parsons, he fit the mold. Then at the middle linebacker, you got Ellis Brooks. Hey, listen here, he's ready. He's got experience. You're talking about a guy who knows how to feel and plug a hole? So they're good there. And then strong side, the most highly rated prospect in 2019 in their recruiting class is Brandon Smith. And Brandon Smith is going to get it done. Brandon Smith can one day be a high first-round pick when he come out of Penn State. The secondary, they got to step it up. They got corner Tyreek Castro Fields, who's coming back, right? You got free safety Lamont Wade. They're veterans in the secondary, but, they're going to need some help. Marquise Wilson will help the open spot at corner, and Jonathan Sutherland will be a strong safety spot. But, it's just like anything in the secondary. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's all about chemistry. If you can get your corners and safeties to understand one another, if I can know where if I'm a strong corner, if I know where my strong safety is going to be every time, I can make plays or I can gamble here, right? And so if you get good chemistry in the secondary, you don't have to have everybody running 4-3, Vincent. When I played at Florida State, that's how it was. I played with 2 gentlemen. Monk Bonasart probably ran like a 4.8 40. Keith Jones probably ran like a 4.7 40. I was the only Blazer back there, but we had chemistry, bro. They were in the right place at the right time. They were smart and intelligent. So with Jonathan Sutherland back there and Lamont Wade playing safety, intelligence is what's needed, right? Being at the right place at the right time and having chemistry. So I believe they'll be fine, right? But they got to step it up, though, in their pass coverage. But what's going to help them step it up is the guys up front. Remember, I don't care what I got in the den as long as I got heat in the kitchen. So if my defensive line is bringing the heat, hey, listen, man, we can play with anybody back there. We're going to be fine. So I like this team, Vincent. I like Penn State, right? Nobody's ever counting on Penn State preseason, but they always show up at the end and they're playing well. So I look for them to do something special this year. I got them right now, Vincent, 10-1. At the worst end, 9-2. I think Penn State's going to have a good year. They're going to stick up on a lot of folk. And kudos to Coach because he's a smart, intelligent guy. He will get it done.
I'm going to say this about Penn State. First of all, I'm going to start with the head coach, James Franklin. To me, he's very special. Let's go back early in his career when he was at Vanderbilt. Think about how he won at Vanderbilt. And look at Vanderbilt now. To me, he was the best football coach they ever had in the history of Vanderbilt football. He asked his problems was a situation went down up there with some of his players in Vanderbilt. And I remember a lot of people locally here in the media threw him under the bus. But man, when he went to Penn State, the first thing I thought about, you better watch out college football. Quiet. What's his record again, Brother Butler, since he's been there? 42 and what? 11?
42 and 11.
He's got that football team at another high level. To me, Penn State is the second best team in the Big Ten behind Ohio State. The game of the year is going to be when Ohio State comes up there and plays Penn State in October. I can tell you this. Some advice to Ryan Day and Justin Fields. You better be ready to come play Penn State because they are very talented. The 4 new assistants that he's bringing on, all is telling me when you have success, other schools are going to come calling, Brother Butler.
That's right.
So I don't think they're going to miss a beat. I like their quarterback, Sean Clifford. I like Mr. Journey Brown. He averaged almost 6.9 yards a carry. You didn't have to throw that shot on me, Brother Butler, me and my people down in Memphis, but he did put 2-on-2 on the University of Memphis in the Cotton Bowl. And then you look at the defensive side. I followed college football for a long time, and I saw a lot of great college football players that came through this history since I've been in this world. I'll be 60 years old on July 17th. What? And when I talk about the defensive side point, I'm going to talk about George Webster at Michigan State, Bubba Smith at Michigan State. I'm just talking about defensively. Kenny Easley at UCLA, Ronnie Lott at USC, Bobby Butler at Florida State, Reggie White at the University of Tennessee, Cornelius Bennett at Alabama, Derek Thomas at Alabama, Ray Lewis at Miami, Warren Sapp at the University of Miami, LeVar Arrington at Penn State. But this Mr. Parsons, man, he is special. And I put him in the category of all these great players I named. The young man is out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He comes out of the same neighborhood as the late, great Dennis Green. We know how great he was. And one great football player that played in Notre Dame, Ricky Waters. This young man, Mr. Parsons, 109 tackles last year. Yes. But what really took me apart from him, not his 6'3", 255-pound frame, but the guy had 14 tackles in the Cotton Bowl against the University of Memphis. 2 forced fumbles. 2 sacks. To me, when you talk about great players in this game, he is at the top of my list. So that being said, James Franklin has got it cooking up there in Happy Valley. And this is a dangerous football team. And matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised to make the college football playoffs and they end up winning it all. Right. Because this young man, Mr. Franklin, has a very experienced football team, and he's got some very serious football players. And don't worry about their wide receiver position. They got a freshman, DeAndre Lambert. And I believe, I'm going to do that research, he's out of the state of Florida. That's right. So when I look at this, and I look at Penn State, this is going to be my team to make the college football playoffs. And I think this year they stop Ohio State in their dreads and win the Big Ten. And they will represent the Big Ten when it comes to college football playoffs. This is the year James Franklin is going to be that guy on the national level, if he's not already is. Mr. Bobby Butler, final words about the Nittany Lions in Happy Valley, Penn State University.
Well, Vincent, first of all, I like the way you broke that down. And I agree with what they have with their coaching staff. Man, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait till this fall get here because it's going to be good. Yeah, I look for Penn State to do something special. Nobody ever counts on them to do anything until it's over, Vincent. I mean, it's been the history of college football. Even when Joe Paterno was there and coaching those great teams back in the day, nobody ever expected them to do anything preseason, but they showed up. And so I'm saying that this year with Penn State, they're going to surprise a lot of people, and I can honestly see them in the college football playoffs this year.
I think what it is, Brother Butler, might be the uniforms because they wear a basic uniform outfit, old school jerseys, old school helmet, no helmets. I'm not trying to throw your school out there or go against Florida, but you know, y'all got them fancy spears, and in the day y'all have helmets.
That's right.
Got them that big G, and Tennessee got the big T. What you get with Penn State, what you get. Look at overall the history of the program. Matt Millen, Todd Blackledge, Kurt Warner, Shane Conklin, DJ Dozier. And they seemingly is always there when it's in conversation at the end of the year about their program. So James Franklin is building something special up there. And they will, to me, be the team this year. We're going to be talking about the Big Ten. I'm going out on a limb. I know Ohio State is a very talented football team. They probably got the best player coming back in the quarterback position in Justin Fields. But, man, I'm telling you, James Franklin is something special as a head football coach. The guy won at Vanderbilt. He was tough in the SEC. Now you put him at Penn State. He's 42-11 since he's been there. And, man, he's got a player and Mr. Parsons, the defensive side of the ball. This is a special football team. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. We are 100 Yards of Football. Enjoy the 4th of July weekend and be safe.